All right, made it back all the way back from this morning and the morning drive. It is Studio 10-4 back live with you, and JT back in the studio for the weekly update for August 19th, 2026. Man, hope you guys are having a good day out there, and some of you are probably kind of winding it down a little bit. Others are just kind of cruising right along, doing what you're doing, and wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, I hope it's going well, and we'll help get you through the next hour of it. And I got a doggone, I don't know if you guys saw that. Fly just buzzed right across my screen. I saw it on there as well as right in front of me, man. Getting distracted here. Anyway, kicking back here in the Pacific Northwest, and it snuck up on me again. Got to 101 just a little bit ago, and now it's already dropping back down. So I don't know. We're getting a little bit of a heat wave coming through, but it's been a mild winter. I mean, summer. It never really, came in with the triple-digit weeks in a row or anything like that, which it's done the last couple of summers. It just seems like it has, but we're okay here, man. We're okay. Shout out to everybody that's in the studio so far. Robbie, Dougie, Okie Dam, what's going on? Good to have you guys on the show with me, and everybody else that's tuning in and watching. Got a good show for you guys today. One of our favorite sons, bringing him back in here, Jake Bast, waiting in the wings. He's in his truck somewhere. In fact, I'm not even sure where he's at right now. I'll have to find out when we get him in here in a minute. But got Jake hanging out, waiting to come on in. We had a good show this morning. Had Randy Menkel in with Never Satisfied Builds. And Randy, great guy, just a lot of good information and a good guy to talk to. But he shared one of the builds that they just got done with. It's out on the lot right now. Jamie's back with us. Right on. And they featured that truck, did a walk around, gave us the lowdown on it, and the dealer that they work with on developing these trucks and building them. And you want to check all that out, get all the information, all the phone numbers and everything. Go back to this morning's show, and all that information is in the feed with names and numbers and all that to get a truck ordered. If you want to get a truck ordered, something a little custom, a little bit of the Never Satisfied build feel on it. There's the way to do it, man. So good to have you back in here, Jamie. Appreciate you showing up, man. All right. Some other stuff that I didn't mention this morning that I want to share. I'm been in music all my life, and I mean, from the time I could figure out how to turn the radio on and turn the volume up, I've been on it, and I've been all over the board on different types of music. Been a rock and roller all my life. That's always been my probably go-to, and one of my favorite bands. And this is something that kind of funny here, because I just got word on this today too, and I'll let that out first. So Columbia House, we all probably at one time or another joined Columbia House, right? You get 10 records for a penny or whatever it was, and you join in, and you get your monthly subscription, and you get your whatever form of music that you were getting from them monthly. You're obligated to buy so many of them through your membership, and that's how they make their money. BMG was the other one. That was the other big one. But Columbia House apparently finally, I didn't even know it was still a thing, but finally is going away. So one of the first bunch of records are tapes, believe it or not, that I bought when I was a Columbia House member. And you guys are going to love this. So this is really kind of how, old I am. I used to belong to them, and I got 8 tracks in the mail every month. Little did I know, I should have never, I don't know why I picked 8 tracks. Cassettes were the way to go. But anyway, I got 8 tracks. Amongst my 8-track tapes, the 10 or whatever that I got, ZZ Top Fandango was one of the first ones, and Tres Hombres, I think, was another one that I got. But definitely Fandango, which was a live album, ZZ Top, and I wore that thing out, man. And the cool thing about 8 tracks was that you just put it in and forget about it. Okay, it just keep going, over and over and over and over and over again. Well, it won't stop until you pull it out. Well, ZZ Top this week lost another one of its original founding members, and ironically, the only guy in the group without a beard, and his name is Frank Beard. Anyway, 77 years old, I guess, and Frank took ill just last week, and they were on tour, shut down the tour, and lo and behold, they announced his passing this week earlier. And shout out to ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons, the only original living member left, and there was only 3 to begin with. So Dusty Rhodes passed away a few years back. They've since put somebody in Dusty's place. Happened to be his tuner. The guy who traveled with the band, who was his tuner, was the guy who stepped in to play bass for ZZ Top. And now it's like, what are we going to, is Billy Gibbons going to be his own tribute band to ZZ Top with 2 other members, or what's he going to do? It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But biggest little band in the world from Texas, ZZ Top. One member left, and that's Billy Gibbons. So Frank, hasta luego, my friend. See you down the road. All right, listen, Eric Hill's in the studio. Eric was at Q-Town Showdown. We'll have to get Eric in and do a show debrief and find out how that show went. Speaking of shows, got one I want to talk about here real quick, and then we're going to bring Jake in. But coming up this weekend in Brooks, Oregon, is the 33rd annual Brooks Truck Show. And that's happening up at the Pacific Northwest Truck Museum. In case you're looking, that is pacificnwtruckmuseum.org. Go on their website and check all the information out. Or you can go on our Facebook page, and we have their calendar event that they created on there as well, so you can get real-time information on what's going on up in Brooks this weekend. I'm looking to see if I'm going to go up there. I'm not sure yet. I'm feeling like I am. I got one little thing to work out to see if I can make it up there, but I'm hoping I can. And I was just talking to Jake about this, and we'll talk about it here in just a moment. But the show up there, beautiful grounds, beautiful location, and the facility, truly inside, indoors, and out. It's a museum. Not only trucks, but the whole place is. It's like it's just locked in time, kind of, and a lot of the equipment they have on site, the gas station that they have on site, which is a great photo op, just a cool place. And let's talk more about it here when we get Jake in here. And so I want to talk about Jake Bast for a minute. So Jake was and I don't know if I have this pulled up or not, but I need to pull that up. And 2019, and if I'm not mistaken, I'll just roll through here. I think it was April 2019, if I'm not mistaken. But I had the Never Satisfied build truck, Never Satisfied, on as well, and they were both in the same year of 10-4 magazine. And it was 2019. I know that because I was on that shoot, and we were in Reno. Dan and I shot that truck up in the mountains up in Reno, and it was right after the ATHS show. Great location. I'm almost there. Sorry, guys. I had this thing up a little while ago, and I had to reboot my computer because it was, there we go. And it is July 2019. Jake's probably going, July, John. Anyway, but here it is. And you got this guy right here, man. He still looks pretty much the same. I mean, I got to tell you. In fact, I'm going to bring him in right now. What's going on, man?
Well,
you do look the same. You look exactly. You're wearing the same shirt.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, keep to a simple look. Yeah,
exactly. I love this truck, by the way, and I hope it's out there making somebody happy still.
IMT Brock and Jeremy Gouge bought that truck right after typical 10-4 curse. You get on the cover and you sell the truck. I didn't have that truck a year. It came out of the woods. It was pretty haggard. The guy that had it really didn't do it any favors. And so we just kind of put it to work on the road and went trucking. And then for some reason, you guys really liked it up there in Reno. And And what a great shoot up there on the top of the ski lodge. And I had a driver in my white truck and my number one, and things just worked out the way they do, you know. So it's kind of a blink of the eye, that 359, really. And grateful. It opened a lot of doors, a lot of grateful opportunities for sure. But Jeremy and Brock have given it a great home in Gardner, Iowa, and they since put a big K motor in it and a set of spicers, and it goes to some shows. It gets out there on the road every now and then, but it's living the life of leisure and luxury with IMT, as most everything they buy does. Besides their work and stuff, you know, they're just a great group of people, great family, and they get these old trucks and just keep them the way they should be.
Well, that picture right there, man, that was a great shot. I mean,
absolutely.
Just something about everything came together on that one. It really, really looks good. And
yeah, that's probably my favorite shot of that truck in the daytime for sure. Of course, you know, Dan behind the camera, he never misses.
Oh man. Yeah, that was something. That was the last show that Big E was ever at too.
That's what I was going to say too, is that was the last truck Big E got to see on the cover, and he called me from the hospital, and that was quite a moment, you know, growing up around that whole organization and everybody, and getting a phone call from Big E from the hospital was something to be the last truck you got to see on the cover for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, he got through a day or so of that show, and then he was holed up in his room, and then after that, you know, we got him back home, and then it was, you know, pretty much all downhill from that point, unfortunately. But that was the last truck show of the great Big E, Eric Seaman, and yeah, I'll never forget it, man. And that show was a great show too. I mean,
it was. That's probably one of my favorites. My wife had her 55 Kenworth there, and I had my white truck and that one, and got to. It was kind of a great time to meet some people that I hadn't really met before. That brought a lot of people in from all four corners of the country. That Reno show just brought everybody in, and you just come around a corner and see somebody from PA or Florida, or, you know. Yep. Just kind of wild how that 1 year seemed to bring so many people together.
Well, it's the irony of it is that was the last time we were invited to be back there at the ATHS at that location.
Yeah, well, they had it a couple years ago, I think, but they can't have it again. They took a parking lot out. I just drove by it the other day, randomly, and that whole parking lot, they're building an indoor parking structure there, so they're going up with the parking. And I thought, man, what a deal, because that had something for everybody there, you know. Like, yeah. Salem's going to be great, you know, for sure, but or all the locations really, but Reno, I mean, they had something for everybody, you know. You could stay entertained and not have to leave the property for anything.
Was there another one there after 19? I thought 19 was it, no?
No, they had one, would have been, I forget the years, I lose track, but they had one there because it's the year that Shell Rotella was in Gillette. And they overlapped that weekend, and they had it in Reno one last time, but it wasn't. Okay. I wasn't there, so I don't know how the turnout was or anything. You should have been there. Where were you at? You're the one that does this.
I was there.
Gosh darn, John.
Yeah, no. If there was another one there after that, I was there. Dan would be to bring in the verification.
What would it be? 24, I guess, or something. It'd be 24 or 25, 24, I think. Yeah.
It would probably be right after COVID, post-COVID, man.
Yeah.
Jamie's saying Springfield was horrible, and you know, man, you just hear rumblings out there about stuff, and you know, I hear good too, but I mean, just some stuff going on with ATHS. I don't know what's going on with it. People are just kind of mumbling about it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't hear much about that. And if I haven't seen it or said it myself, I try to stay out of it. I really don't know. I've missed a couple. I mean, just to do the fact of where I'm at when that's going on. I did miss Reno for Gillette that year for Shell. It was kind of a bucket list deal to go to Shell once, and that's the only reason I know it was the same weekend in Reno, because I did pick that over Reno that 1 year. It's about one of the few times I actually chose to go do something. And as far as the rumbling stuff go, unless I've said it or seen it, I try not to get in the middle of it, because I don't know for fact.
I you know what? I'm in the same frame of mind. I hear stuff, and then I'm the last to hear stuff sometimes. And then when I hear it, it just kind of goes right through. And I don't know. I never been one to pay attention to a lot
Oh,
of
you
that.
know how these truckers are, a bunch of old women in a beauty parlor with the curlers and under the heater reading the funny pages, all talking about each other. We're no different, you know. So you just
never a lie, never a speculation,
no,
never.
no,
Yeah.
no. You ain't never gonna believe this. Yeah. It's never. Yeah.
Angelina jumped in here and said it was 2023, so that would have
Okay.
been
Yeah. 23.
post-COVID, and
Yeah.
the whole thing, man. It was another good turnout, great show, but there was all a bunch of stuff. Not only because of what they've done at that property to change it, but there was a bunch of stuff going on they weren't happy about, like the golf cart takeover. Man, it was complete bedlam. I mean, the whole front of that casino hotel
I
parking.
don't know. We didn't get any trouble running. Me and Aaron Smith and Kelly ran one through the casino one night just because it was the fastest way to get from the parking lot to the truck show side. And they didn't seem to have a problem with that. I don't know.
I just remember we went bowling one night, and that was a kick. I mean, hadn't been bowling in years, and we went bowling. So that was.
That's what I'm saying. They have something for everybody there. You know, they got movie theater, bowling. They've got a golf, driving range. They've got, obviously gambling. They've got, something for every part of the family to kind of be there and be entertained. Otherwise, you drag your family out, you're at a dirt lot at a truck show, and hey, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but everybody wants to travel together. So I thought it was great, but then again, what do I know?
Well, it's unfortunate. It does not look like it's coming back to the West Coast. And Jamie was saying that he just felt like they were unfriendly, but they were willing to take your money, which, unfortunately they got to pay for bills too. But yeah,
yeah,
it is what it is. Hey, everybody out there, give our buddy Brandon Chase. Everybody say howdy, Brandon, and let Brandon.
Hey, Brandon.
There you go.
Is he watching?
He's watching.
Yeah.
He's here.
Oh yeah. Oh, Brandon Chase. He's been around a minute on Facebook. Always nice messages and checking with everybody and everybody's friend. What a good kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing him real soon here down in Bakersfield when we go down for the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo coming up in November.
Oh, man. One of these years I want to get to that.
Dude, you that like should have your picture on the poster, and you're not there.
Well, I know it overlaps. I have the greatest opportunity with my job. It's the coolest thing I get to be a part of is all this Christmas tree for Hallmark every year. Big 100-foot tree, and we take it downtown, and Rams let me be part of this for like the last 7 years, and it is the coolest opportunity, and I'm very grateful. And it falls that trucker rodeo falls literally on the same week, and yep. I keep telling Dan, I go, the minute I get booted off this tree thing, I will go, but until then, man, I can't give up on this one. It's such a good opportunity.
We need to stick a camera in there. Get your phone like it is right now. If you got a mount for it or something, and do some live stuff while you're running that tree around, and out on the ground loading it up and unloading whatever. It'd be fun to do.
Oh yeah, we can probably work something like that for sure. It's a really neat opportunity. We go up and harvest a tree and the extra ballast for it, package the whole deal and get it back there. And then we do a police escort downtown, and the mayor gets in and rides with usually Dale Middlestat, one of the partners of Ram. He's retired now, but he's still part of the tree thing. He comes in and it's 2 loads for the tree to get downtown now with the size of it. But the mayor jumps in, a police escort right down Grand Avenue at the Hallmark Center, and it's quite a welcoming. It's really something to see.
You know what I love? I'm looking in the audience here right now. We got either cover truckers or feature story guys, or just family 10-4 family. Thunder Dick Hawkins. Wonder who that guy is.
Never heard of her.
Never heard. Yeah, he's here anyways.
I'm surprised he has internet service actually to be able to watch this. He must be at home.
Jamie's asking, what town is it that you're delivering the tree into?
Oh, it's Kansas, downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jamie's probably not too far. He's in Springfield. How far is that from where you're delivering?
Oh, that's not very far. A couple hours, Springfield. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, listen, here's what we originally had talked about. And what I love about you, Jake, I love just how you are. Number one, how you just are in real life. And then social media wise, man, to me, you break out the stuff that makes sense that a lot of guys just aren't taking the time to do while they're out on the road for whatever reasons. And you know, not everybody gets the same opportunities, but here's one that you just can't go wrong with. And here's a great Jake Bast photo op: dinner out on the road. And I mean, you got this thing laid out. You got the cocktail, bread, you got everything separate plated, you know, asparagus, grilled asparagus, lobster, New York steak. I mean, loaded mashed potatoes. And then what's that? Mac and cheese over there?
Yeah. Longhorn, I go back. I have a love-hate for their mac and cheese. Like, some days I love it, some days I hate it. So every now and then I gotta like remind myself if I like it again or not. What's funny is you can post a food picture and I can tell you almost with certainty where it was, and is with as much certainty as a truck picture I'd take.
Well, the beauty of it is it kind of just sheds the truck off you for a minute, and you get to be human again, and just kind of dive into some place and go enjoy yourself for a few hours, right?
Yeah, well, that's the point. And that's kind of, you know, like the tree thing. You kind of shed the trucker off, and you're down there, and people are grateful to see you, and grateful you brought them their product, you know. And after a long week, like, you know, I leave the West Coast, go to the East Coast, and I drive, sleep, you know, and you eat out of a brown bag for a couple nights in a row, you get your work done. And, you know, like that particular picture in Paducah, Kentucky, I got up there on a Thursday afternoon and didn't have to load until Friday midday, like open-ended window. I had, you know, 18 hours to kill. So I found a brewery in there in Paducah and backed it next to it, and then kind of just got out, looked at Google Maps and seen what was there for food. And so it was pretty hot in summertime, and there that Longhorn was, I don't know, about 3/4 of a mile or half a mile down the road, and I was in the mood for that. But there was a Texas Roadhouse and a Buffalo Wild Wings and a Chewy's, and you know, kind of staggered along the way. So it's pretty hot out, John. I want to stay hydrated, so I stopped and had a cocktail all the way to the Longhorn. Yeah. And then I was, you know, ready for dinner and had a couple nightcaps on the way back. It was a well-rounded adventure, if you ask me.
Well, I'll tell you what, these days we have a huge advantage out on the road. If you're in some place, you know, not podunk nowhere, middle of nowhere, but if you're someplace where there's a Uber or Lyft, you can, you know, get your hotel, call for a ride, go wherever you want. And it's just too easy to get in and out of wherever you're going, you know, right?
It's really easy. Like that brewery, my wife set up the reservation for me and called them ahead of time, and she's super great at doing that. Like, I've always done it, but she gets a kick out of it so much easier now. I'm grateful that she kind of jumps in and finds these places too now, and kind of gets into it with me. And so like a brewery, they have a cocktail hour and appetizers in their lobby. You know, for 2 hours, you get free drinks and free appetizers. So you don't have, if you don't want to Uber, you don't have to Uber. You can stay right there. But if you want to get out and, like you said, knock the truck driver off and sit at a bar and just kind of relax. And you know, these restaurant type bar and grills, they're much less likely to start getting these conversations with random people. You're just kind of there eating and enjoying, relaxing and sticking to yourself. And it's pretty nice. And you got to get in the truck the next morning. And you kind of, like you said, you wipe it off. And the next morning, you're kind of like, hey, got a new outlook and you're ready to go instead of being stuck in this thing the whole time.
I got to share this one. We were talking about it from one of your buddies, Leroy Baxter. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the connections or wherewithal to get where Jake Bast was for dinner. So there it is.
Leroy's another food guy. I love watching it. I love seeing his pictures. Like, what, you never know with him though. It's one day it could be Chef Boyardee, and one day it could be a steak and some crab legs or something. Like, he's one of the ones. I met Leroy in person a few times, and what a great guy, his family and stuff. And I enjoy food pictures as much as I do, you know, truck pictures. And then there's some guys that I'm really tight with that, you know, they'll get trucks into places. I kind of scratch my head and go, man, maybe you're a better operator than I am, you know. But at the end of the day, if you can get a truck in there, the only thing stopping you is just the idea of going out and doing it. And I think it's just such a good mood improvement as well. You know, you get a shower, you get a hot shower, to clean bed, and you're not dealing with truck stop stuff. Listen, during the week when you're coming and going, you got to get from one side to the other and get your job done. Absolutely. Yeah. You got to do what you do and do the job right, first off. But when you have that break and that downtime in the middle and take advantage of that, it's a huge mood improvement. And I think it's part of some of the negativity amongst, you know, out here in general. You see these guys and you drive past them in a rest area eating a Subway sandwich on a 34-hour restart, and you're like, I wouldn't do that, like this job either.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just a 1,000%. You know how you are out on the road, and I remember, from my days out there, I did me however I figured I wanted to do me and be comfortable and enjoy what I was doing out there because I'm out there anyways. And I wasn't like you guys that got sleepers and stuff. I'm day cabinet, and I'm laid out across the seats with an ice chest in between to lay across if I need to close my eyes for a few. And not that we ever did anything illegal out there. We never did that because we
Oh
had
no, 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 no. We're up. Yeah, absolutely. We have laws to follow, and
we
yeah,
got laws and I had loose leaf binder logs. So how could I do anything wrong? Right.
yeah.
Hey, Jamie, thanks for dropping in, buddy. Good to have you and look forward to having you back again anytime, Jamie.
You know, one thing I'll say too is today's times, like when I started out, I never had time to do this kind of stuff either, to be honest with you. When I was leased to certain places I was at in early 2000s, and the first probably 2/3 of my career, it was go, 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 go. There was no, if you had that 18 hours off in between, coming into LA out of Portland or Seattle or Utah or something on a line haul, and you got there on Wednesday afternoon and your reload out of there wasn't right till Friday morning, they'd send you to do 2 or 3 local loads around LA or in the Bay, depending on where you ended up, and then right back out of town. So your fine dining was getting back to Mike's at Cast Steak and having an OV or Huevos Rancheros and iced tea instead of, instead of a cheeseburger from McDonald's,
I love that place, man. You got the
Yeah.
Chrome Shop next door if you need anything. And then,
Yeah.
Mike's, and the funny thing about that place, it's the best Mexican food, and it's Mike's. It's not Manuel's or anything.
I know it. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's been closed down for years, but the cook down there, he moved. He opened a place called Casa Laputas, right down the street. And it's funny to go in there to a Mexican place with a Mexican name and still get the same, like that crazy sauce on the rice and that melted cheese on that sauce on an OV or the Huevos Rancheros. Still get that same flavor in a new building.
Well, here's the thing: when it was where it was before, I didn't know it closed, but that makes sense. God, the post-COVID world is just what a freaking mess.
Anyway. I have Mike's like tattooed on the building, like tattooed my truck in front of it on my arm. That was my second home for years. I used to have a post office box in the post office in the parking lot of Mike's for years.
Well, the cool thing, amongst many others, we had the Chrome Shop, truck wash, and Mike's all right there. I'm literally boom, 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 right next to each other. But you could have, the best Mexican, quesadillas, huevos, rancheros, or chili rellenos, my favorite, really rich but really good, or chicken fried steak, man. And I mean,
well, that's the thing. Their American food was good, but I always thought it was sacrilegious to have it. I was going in there in the 80s with my dad, and I only know there was 2 things on the menu, an OV or Huevos Rancheros. And I think one time by accident, they brought me chicken enchiladas, and that's how I decided that I like marinated chicken enchiladas by accident. And one time they brought me chicken fried steak by accident, and I felt guilty eating American food in there, but don't know what, waste not, want not.
You got Jeff Patello in here tearing you up, buddy.
Oh, I can't believe he understands English. I thought he only spoke Spanish. Is he got a translator in there?
I don't know. It might Google Translate. I don't know.
Hi, Jeff.
Jeff, how are you, buddy? Good to have Jeff in here. Victor, good to have you on the show. And Shane Bouillon, where are you, buddy? I saw.
Hey, dude, my buddy Shane. What's Shane doing?
Yeah, man. Shane, what's up with your truck, man? What's the you need
to?
Poor
Shane. I hope he gets going back soon. See that truck back. Poor Shane's had a rough road.
What
a great guy. You won't find a better guy than Shane Bouillon either.
You know what? I was going to say him and his wife both, man.
Just Crystal both. Yep, exactly.
Great people. Well, listen, man. The way the reason whatever we can sit here and just bullshit for an hour, but I got to thinking, and I see a lot of stuff going on in front of me on my news feed, and I thought to myself, this truck. First of all, beautiful job. You always keep it looking great, and of course we're seeing the snapshot at that moment, which is usually probably its best. But at the same time, what's underneath is always there, and could at any moment flip a switch, lights come on, everything looks great inside and out, and certainly worthy of being here and anywhere else on a cover of a magazine. But the time to do it, man. How do you make the time to roll down the road every day, do what you're doing, and still, find time to put things together, change things,
Well,
upgrade, fix it, maintain. I mean, what does it take?
I sure appreciate the compliments for sure. And it's a never-ending battle. And I think it's changed. I was thinking about this earlier when you kind of brought up this something you want to talk about, and I kind of look back over the years at that. Man, it's really changed a lot. How I find time and make time to do things and what the priorities are. And speaking about mics, when I was 19, 20 and running LA, I'd leave my house on Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and I'd spend all day Sunday at Castaic playing with lights and in the parking lot there, and not delivering it until Monday, and that was just all I wanted to do. Yep. And to this day, that's still all I want to do. I just do it a little bit differently, I guess. I don't have a family besides my wife, really, that I got to be home for sports and raise kids and all those things. So that definitely is a huge difference. So I don't want to take that away from anybody else that's doing the same thing. It's probably harder for them than it is me. You take like Kevin Young, I feels like on that level of just from scratch and elbow grease and do it as he can, but yet he coaches his kids' football games, and there for all that. And so I think my story is probably a little bit different just in that aspect. Is I'm selfish and I enjoy what I do and I like to do what I do, and I've got a supportive wife, and I do more at home now. I actually have a place at home where I never had. That's kind of new for me. Since we moved to Idaho, I've got a garage and be able to have things there, but you just try to have a goal of, I want to do this to my truck, or I think I want to see how this is going to look. And so I throw the parts in, and kind of like that same downtime to have dinner. I'll spend a day, on the East Coast. Say it's winter time where I live in the Pacific Northwest. I've been running across 80 all winter, and I get some good weather down in the South. And I just kind of have some projects in mind that I want to tinker on and stuff. But like the bigger things, like this time around with the hood rebuild and whatnot, like with the running boards, that was a long time thought and project in my head, not knowing how to do it or go about the right machine shop that could kind of take my idea and not my idea, but my twist of an idea I saw years ago then I'm lucky to have somebody, like Greg Kerspel, a good friend of mine that's got an amazing ability and talent, and he hand makes a lot of stuff. And I literally took a 2x6 on a floor jack and some blocks and kind of leveled it out in my driveway, the piece of wood, and measured off some stuff on the phone with him and sent him some pictures. And next thing you know, you get a box in the mail of your idea coming to life through his ability to do something I can't do with equipment that he has. Most of the stuff I try to do myself, but as I'm getting older and I want a little bit better quality outcome than I did when I was 21 or 22 or something. I'm just fortunate enough to be surrounded by guys that have that talent ability as friends as well. And so then I get those pieces and I just kind of time it out as well. Am I going to do it on my day off at home, or am I going to do it on my day off, in South Carolina, and throw the parts in the truck and just kind of make it work out that way.
Well, and this picture that we're looking at right now is just kind of a great example of what I love about your truck and the lights, and how the lights you're throwing light all across the road. And I mean, it's just such a tribute, throwback to old school, guys, when this stuff first started happening like this, different equipment was on the trucks to make it happen than what we're using now.
Oh, absolutely. That's a huge thing. And I get asked all the time. I've been running like the same light bulb for, I don't know, 11 years now, maybe, since I've had this truck. And this is a new thing. I've had this truck 11 years. And to be honest, this is probably my 7th or 8th 379. I keep one for a few years, kind of get bored. So I'm in new territory keeping one this long, and I'm learning a lot about myself and kind of maintaining, a truck for that many years, the amount of miles I do put on it. And I see, like, when you talk about the lights and the glow they put out, I get a lot of guys that are into lights and doing their thing, and they'll message me, hey, have you tried this bulb or tried that bulb? It's brighter, it's this or that. And I'm like, hey, go for it. Like keep experimenting, keep trying. Like I found my little lane and my little recipe that I enjoy. It makes me happy. And I hope you find yours too. Like I'm not trying to be the brightest in more ways than one. And I'm not trying to be the sharpest. I have that look that I like, that was kind of an accident. I just ran with it, and I don't want it to be any different. But I want anybody else that's into it and has a passion for it to find their recipe and try that new bulb and try that new lens combo. And I spent hours, down at Castaic and Long Beach and stuff as a kid trying to figure these things out. And we did it in the incandescent days,
Right. Right.
trying to, I never had a trailer obviously lit up like this. But I've always kind of ran the same light package, just similar, made some changes, but to do that in incandescent compared to LED is a whole nother topic of conversation itself. We have it pretty easy now.
It's easier now for a lot of reasons than it was, 20 years ago when everything was incandescent, and with the seasons and conditions of the road changing, you go from a dry environment and no water, and then all of a sudden any drop of a hat, you hit water for whatever reason, there goes a whole shit ton of bulbs and lenses and everything else just gone because they got water, and whether it's they're getting inside and getting it, or they've just hit the lens because it's hot and it shatters it or whatever. We were talking about keeping old Bob there at Cherokee in business, buying a box of bus light lenses at a time.
Yeah, but they were only like $2, $3 a piece then. You could buy a box of them, not worry about it. You could blow everyone out on your truck. You were out $8 at a taco to fix it. A little bit different nowadays. When I see a Walcott the other day, gosh, what are they, like $16 for a lens? Get out of here with that nonsense. It's a piece of glass. Like, enough of this already.
I think now that, and I don't know on yours if you've gone this route, but plastic lenses, LED lights, and problem solved, right?
Well, yeah, and I have not. I don't. I have plastic, like all my double bubbles are plastic lenses and whatnot, but that's kind of that light. But the glass thing is, for me, not to like get it. It's my dad when I was a kid. I'd get my pickup at 16 and drive to Klein's and buy anti-glares and Honda lights, just because that's the only place I knew where to get something. It's before Bob's was open. And, I'd come home and my dad would be like, "Where'd you get this?" I'm like, "Well, I drove to Klein's." Well, I was in Fresno. We lived in Stockton. I was 16. He had no idea I even knew how to get there. And it's like, well, this is what I wanted to do. Well, he got on my butt for copying him. A lot of people have heard this story about mud flap weights and things, but the reality is it was with lights as well. And so when Bob opened up that chrome shop and he had these Honda glass lens bumper lights, I was like, I'd never seen anything like that. And of course my dad didn't either from his era. And I remember they put a pilot in Madera at the 18.5 and it had a big chrome shop in it. Well, big for the time. And it was the only place between Stockton and Castaic you could buy those kinds of things. And man, I would haul ass down to 18.5 and park by the cat scale. I had a little 2-axle, a set of doubles, little flat top sleeper. And I was just mesmerized by all this glass, like it was so different than a Honda tanker light or a Honda bumper light or a tanker light. That's all I grew up around with my dad and all of his friends. So I thought I was innovative then as a dumb kid. And honestly, I just kind of stuck to what I knew. And talking about the water, it's funny. I had friends that run LA or the Central Valley that didn't even know what silicone was because they never ran in the rain. But I was running Portland, Seattle, LA back and forth. I had to learn really fast what silicone was really quick to keep from having to fix everything every single night.
You could do a few things as much as you tried, though, but there was nothing that would protect you from the heat of those bulbs on those lenses, and then the water hitting it, and then
no, airflow was a big thing. Like you'd pull in to get a truck wash and you'd shut your lights off when you pulled in the driveway to let it was all about the airflow. Like you just didn't sit around at it. I mean, not as long as there wasn't any water per se, but you sit around at a truck show with your lights on for 8 hours like you can today. It was kind of a different thing, melting pigtails and all that going on. And then heat switches, like having to put a Ford starter relay. Napa's part number was like an R13A or an R12A solenoid switch, a metal one you put on your firewall, and that's what you wired. There wasn't a hay truck in California didn't have one or two of them on a firewall or a truck bed on a truck and trailer, or maybe even you probably ran them in a dirt, transfer trucks and stuff. But that was a heat switch. You ran all your wires to it. You turned the switch on and off in your dash. Otherwise, you'd melt your switches in your dash.
I never had any problems with overheating anything because I had it wired right. And I to be honest with you now, I don't even remember all of the different things that I did or had done along the way when I put that truck together, from not only the electrical, but the plumbing on that thing and the way I had that truck plumbed and different things about it. You know, there was a lot going on there, man. And yeah, it's some of the harshest environments, not only just from the road, but you know, from the stuff we'd haul. You know, asphalt, sand, gravel, rock, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, just the list goes on. The truck was exposed to anything and everything in the most extreme conditions. So, but you know, the thing I just remembered was chasing lenses and lights in that truck was a never ending process. And I got out right before they came out with all the LED replacements for all the watermelon lens, you know, kits and everything
Right.
that everybody started putting out there. And I mean, everything was pretty much Maxima LED. That's
Maxima,
all.
yeah, it hit the market pretty fast. I remember when Cherokee Bob kind of come out with those, and he's like, "This is the wave of the future," and they're going to be wireless someday, and what have you. And you know, there's lights I have on this truck talking about changing lenses and stuff that I always wanted to put on previous trucks, but the serviceability of that light would be an absolute nightmare. But with an LED bulb now and being able to seal that lens off and not worry about it for a couple years and just dielectric grease the bulb, I have a few lights on this truck that I would never in a million years put on any of the other ones I've had, just for serviceability reasons alone.
You know, I like what you did here too on this. I mean, this truck, it's 359-ish, even though it's a 379. You got the Donaldson cleaner on there, which is old school, and it's just simple and plain. You didn't put any light bar up there in the front. You got the old, just the stock bar fender mount on it, and yet and the old headlight style. You got double J brackets up there, right? Though.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I got to be honest. I despise single round headlights with a passion. I love single rounds as much as I love T-canes. I both do not love. I can't stand either one of them. However, this is one of those things. I've said it to people, so I got to own up to it. Okay. Sometimes a truck can wear or do something that you may not like, but it works on the truck, or vice versa. And when I put the running boards on, I was going to full louver the hood panels. Like a 32 Ford, not like Peterbilt louvers. And so when you do that in the running boards, the squares that I used to have on kind of went out the window. It doesn't fall that this is all just my opinion. In my opinion, that recipe doesn't work. If you're going to go that far, you know, hot roddy or in that genre, everything has to tie together. And we just ran out of time for the louvers, and I feel that the running boards, I really want them really bad. It's just something I'd seen a long time ago and never had the right truck to pull it off. Not saying I do now, but it's mine and I'm happy with it. I think that then the headlights kind of played a part with that. And as much as I hate to admit it, they are growing on me for sure. But I have to own the fact I've hated single rounds since the 90s when they came out. And here I am having to stick my own foot in my mouth.
And you put the eyelids on them.
I did. It's all about the visor. I think the headlight boils down to the visor too. I've always ran double rounds on double J's. Like you look at pictures of any of my other Peterbilts, first thing I did was double rounds on a flat top for sure. I love those.
Right.
But I think it kind of pulls it off with the whole package with what I did minus the louvers. And this, after this truck 11 years, kind of like what I'd said a little bit ago, me kind of learning and finally having a truck long enough that, you know, like the quarter fender lights is a dream. I've wanted to do that on a combo since I had my doubles when I was like 19 or 20. Like that was something I wanted to do. A lot of my dad's buddies did it. A lot of guys in California, such a California thing. And I really always wanted to do it. And sometimes you got to wait for the right vibe and the right truck, I think, to pull certain things off. It's my own opinion. And I felt like after 11 years, it was time to let some things I've really been sitting on for a couple decades out of the bag and really not, you know, be man enough to admit if it didn't work, take it off but not really, you know, there's certain guys out here that I'm close with that we just kind of do things that we have a passion for in our own way, you know, that I think as long as our truck is going that direction we want to do it, you just kind of let that feel go with it. You do things you want to do and don't worry about it. You can't hide that real love for what you do.
Well, I've got a close-up going on the running boards that you built and put on this thing. I think anybody that wants to get a real good look at this, I'll put those photos that you sent me, which these right here, I'll share them up on our social media for guys to get a look at. But nice job, nicely done.
Well, I got to give credit to, like I said, Greg Kerspel. If you saw the picture I sent him of a 2x8, like on a floor jack and a block of wood, trying to measure things, and him in upstate New York going, yep, okay, yep, no problem. I'm like, really, that's it? And he's like, yeah. And then next thing you know, this shows up, and you basically, like anything he makes, you stand back and throw it at your truck, and you turn around and it sticks on there. And
I don't know if Jeff's still watching or not, Jeff, but who did your golf cart? Is that you?
That was a lot of weekends in the garage. That was me and my wife and a couple friends, and then that's a Greg Crispell visor. I called Greg. I go, you ever made a visor for a golf cart? Like, there's certain things I want done right that I know I can do, but I like it better than my ability, and I think some of that's knowing your limits of your ability. And so Greg played along, and but yeah, that's all just spare parts and lights out of my surplus in the garage. And it started out as just kind of a cheap marketplace $200 golf cart. Next thing you know, we just threw a bunch of stuff at it till it stuck on the weekends. A couple of friends over, my wife and I, and we just, one thing led to another, and like anything else, it just escalated.
Well, hey, Jeff's still watching out there, man. Jeff, tell me what you think about this golf cart. I think we've got a golf cart down there. Jeff,
nothing like putting Jeff on the spot about golf carts out of nowhere.
I love it. It's even got the curb sensors on there, man. Are those live?
Yeah. No golf cart's complete without curb feelers. No hot rod at all. Yeah, it's complete without curb feelers.
Oh, I gotta love it, man. No, that's a classic look, and just all around again, just screams, Jake Bast.
And that's all I hope. Like, I don't know. The times are changing. Someone's getting older, and some of my friends, like we talked about Kevin earlier. You look at a truck, you just know Kevin did it. He does his thing, and that's all I hope, is that somebody looks at something when I'm long gone and sees this old truck and thinks somebody loved this truck at one point. And I have a really as it seems this is changing a little bit, and social media moves things, and you kind of lose the uniqueness of areas and looks and styles. Like Matt Nyans, he's got that little short hood black 359 up in the Northwest, and he don't give a crap. He just puts something on there and he does it. He likes it. He don't ask anybody what they think or anything. And Aaron Smith, I got some good friends of mine that they just put stuff on their truck that makes them happy, and they don't send a picture of, hey, should I, or what should I do? That you get a picture of, hey, look what I did, and it makes them smile. And I know what that does for me. So I enjoy seeing that for my friends that just do things for them with their truck they love. And to me, that's kind of what this started out for when I was a kid, and what I'd like to see it still be. Not to be sentimental, but I miss those days.
I gotta mention one more thing on here on this build too. Is just a standout for me, man. It's like, let's go back to the 70s on our Love van, and that window, that teardrop up there, man, that thing it's right off of somebody's custom van, 1975 or whatever, man. That was on, everybody had one on each side, right?
Oh yeah, and it was a big double eagle sleeper thing, back in the 70s and 80s, and they put van windows in. These are double eagle windows, and I don't know, they kind of go with my van seats I put in here about a year and a half ago too. In some of this stuff, like, I have to own some of the stupidity of it. I'm kind of cheap and I'm kind of stubborn, John. Like, and some of it's accidental. That teardrop window should be pointing up and down the way they always were, like in a double eagle truck. But when we got to put it in there, was it Levon, the guy that used to put them in there, double eagle, he goes, it don't fit because your rivet line, we got to turn it sideways. And all of a sudden it just kind of became a unique look. And I don't know, these $1,000 truck seats and $1,200 truck seats just blow my mind. When you couldn't go get a Bostrom 910 for $450 at Kenworth or something. Same with bumpers now. So as a joke, a buddy of mine, Luke, sent me this marketplace find 2 years out, a year and a half ago, maybe close to 2 years, of these blue van seats for my garage, not even for my truck. And we went and picked them up, and I don't know, a week later they were in my truck, and I'm like, I'm not spending $1,200 for a freaking truck seat anymore. And that's, I don't know if that's stubbornness or what it is, but some of this stuff is just out of control.
Well, it's just pretty much indicative of everything out there right now. I mean,
it is for sure.
Prices on stuff, it's just insane, and I don't see any relief happening anytime soon on any of it. It's just what it is.
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's like the light bases, talk about lights. I just run the same cheap $14 Grand General flush mount base that they've always had, and Hey, listen, I love seeing people make money off this industry one way or another, whether it's accessories or parts or anything. But if I had to pay $100 for a tight sealed light base for a watermelon lens, and I'd have to refinance my house to do that. Like some of this stuff, you just kind of take time to learn and make it work best for you the way you can.
Now, I'm assuming this is your wife, right? I've never met her.
Oh yeah.
I hope
That is her. That's it. Yeah, she loved that picture. Yeah,
that's a great shot of the two of you guys. So
you haven't met her yet. She's been at every show. Usually she's drinking and hiding. When you come around, she absolutely despises. We're exact polar opposites as far as our personalities go. She's the behind the scenes, drink beer, hang out, get it done. In fact, when you did the walk around in Reno and you got to her truck, she was gone. So I had to do her truck for her too. So that's my job. I protect her from the camera.
Over the years, I've had great success with people who don't want to be in front of the camera, whether it's a still camera or a video camera. And, and it comes down to one thing. It's just being able to talk to people and have a conversation. And if you can make people feel comfortable, then, I think it becomes a successful deal. Otherwise, there's no getting around it. Everybody feels it and sees it, and it comes out in the picture or in the video, either way. But
for sure it does. And I don't know that I'm the person for it at all, but I'm going to keep talking until somebody tells me to shut up or find somebody else. I dang sure probably not the person, but I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, being able to talk to one another is I think still something we should all appreciate, and getting lost. I got a conversation yesterday with a guy, and it was over a business deal, and this guy's like pointing 100%. He's like, if you want to talk any more about this, we'll do it here. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I got to bring this up to him. I told him, I said, I don't conduct business in text messages. So, if you want to go any further with this, we need to get on the phone at the very least and talk.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you're saying. I want to hear you,
Well, so much gets misconstrued in text messages too. And then there's sometimes we're just hanging out and having a conversation, but like in my day-to-day stuff, I could be a little abrupt and cut to the point, like kind of A, B, C, D, black, white, no gray. Like and you can't do that in a text message. And it's like, I want to get on the phone, get through what we're getting through. And sometimes though, Luke, he's like one of my best friends. He's kind of like my kid, lives at the house all the time. And the two of us will get rambling on, and both of us are afraid of silence. Probably the only two things we're afraid of. And sometimes it can get out of control when you're trying to talk about, especially trucks or something you're passionate about. But I think in business dealings anymore today, especially like out here with loads and customers and things, I think so much more is gained by having that personal connection of understanding what somebody's meaning by how they say it, and the connection of picking up the phone and being able to get a hold of that person, compared to just everything in a text message is just so bland.
Well, it was just really odd to me that this guy was literally like making sure I understood, if we're going to do anything, it's going to happen here. And I'm saying here on the phone, on text, not, any other way. And it's like, I'm just not interested, And, if you want to talk to me more about that. And then I let it go. And then he kept coming back at me, with other questions and stuff. And I'm like, dude, call me,
read the room, get the point. Yeah.
Call me and let's talk, because I don't know what you're afraid of. I mean, are you a robot? Was I talking to Chat GPT for, business, or what was I talking to? I have no idea.
I guess that's a real thing now too, is not even knowing that if you're talking to somebody real anymore, like trying to get to customer service for anything and get a real person, even as simple as making reservations. The other night, my wife made reservations, and she's like, oh, I talked to this real neat gal, Jeannie, on the phone. She was super helpful. Make sure when you meet her, you tell her. So I get to the hotel and check in. I go, where's Jeannie? And they go, oh, she's at a conference center in Tallulah or someplace, nowhere near that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, that is 100% a possibility. Anytime you're talking or chatting or texting, whatever, and you're not actually seeing and hearing the person on the other end, forget about it, man. I mean, the rules of the road used to be, don't believe anything you hear and half of what you see.
Yeah, I think
Now
it's still that way. But
well, I think it's pretty much now. You know, I don't even know if I believe half of what I see because the AI stuff that's out there. And guys, listen, man, you gotta really do a little bit more legwork than just clicking, the like button, swipe left, swipe right. You got to look if you're really interested in getting connected to somebody. And here's where you have to take the extra steps. You got to go to their profile and look and see who you're really talking to. And Dan says he is not a robot, but I don't know. And he might be. Dan Lenz might be a robot.
well, I've tested that theory with him several times in our phone calls, and I'm not convinced 100% yet either. So
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll need proof of life, I think, on that one probably to confirm that one. But it is a true it is a true issue in there out there on the especially the social media channels, man. I mean, God dang, and they're trying to make sure that they identify the AI for you, so you can look and see an AI tag on stuff and know, you're not talking to anything but a computer. It doesn't always happen though. I mean, I'll sit here, I entertain myself sometimes with my, little hockey puck, I'm not going to say her name because she'll start talking to me in the room. And this particular AI technology that's out there now with that device, when I first got that to where it's at now, holy crap, man, you can literally have a conversation. And
I have enough conversations with myself in this truck. I borderline started answering myself. I don't need an AI conversation in this truck at all. God only knows what would happen in here. I got to keep it to just my own conversations with myself and my own answers at this point. Kudos to you for being able to have that.
I just cracked myself up the other night with the conversation I had. I just wanted to see how far will this thing go? And she's like just right on the spot with the conversation. I had a better conversation with her than I did this guy on chat the other day that I was telling you about. I mean, she was, I was pretty.
Hey, if you have a no boundaries woman in there to talk to, you're having a better talk with her than you are me right now. I guarantee that too.
It was funny. That's all I got to say. Where are you at right now, by the way? Where are you?
Rollins, Wyoming. I'm headed. Rollins, Wyoming. I got some East Coast and Canadian drops first of next week. So, yeah, kind of working my way east.
Okay. Well, before we go, we got to talk about Brooks just for a minute.
Sure.
Yeah. So Brooks is this weekend. The truck show at the Truck Museum.
Great place, great people, great venue, great. The only thing they need there is a hotel.
Well,
and if that's the biggest complaint of the place, that ain't too bad,
So is Salem the nearest place to go for a decent place to eat?
I think so. I think Salem's probably the nearest. But, with as many people that do camp there and whatnot, you can always find somebody's camp to raid for good food and good drink and good conversation for sure. And they have shower facilities there. The campground is fantastic. But that's a great facility, a great place. Good people. I haven't been in a while, but
I thought about, I don't know. And I haven't reached out to anybody because first of all, I didn't know that I was going to go until, even it was an option until yesterday. So I kind of all of a sudden scrambling to see what I can do about it and thought, well, if I knew somebody that was up there, maybe there's that. But I think I'm, Oscar's going to be up there selling parts. Are you going to be cooking, Oscar? You got the wives coming up to cook and do their thing?
I need to know when Oscar's going to be setting up early so I can have somebody I know they're going and pillage and plunder some of their early finds because I'm not going to be there. So I got to get with Oscar, see if he's going to be set up Wednesday or Thursday. There's some things on my radar from his little booth there.
Up in Brooks? Well,
he usually has a good trade show, good vendor booth up there. He brings all the goodies out up there, and you got to pick them early to get the good stuff.
So you won best lights up there, I guess, a while back, huh?
Yeah, I think 2017, maybe 18, right in there. Yeah, I was pretty lucky. Must have been 18. It was for Shredder's trailer. Man, that was like a holy cow factor because there's like 400 trucks there and they only give like 2 or 3 trophies and there's like no classes. And I was like, holy crap, that was quite a humbling moment. Yeah, they only give like best lights, competitor. I don't know what they do in the last few years, but people's choice, competitor's choice, and like best lights. And there's 400 trucks there. That was quite an honor.
Well, I'm looking at the flyer right now, and it's real simple, man. It's the truck show is Friday and Saturday, and show hours 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday, and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday. Light show 9 o'clock, and it'll be every bit of 9 o'clock because it doesn't get dark up there till
Sure.
later. The same here at my place. I'm still. So it'll be a light show, late night. I mean, it'll probably go on for longer than an hour, I bet, but everybody will be lit up. And
well, anybody listening that hasn't been there at Brooks Truck Show Hack, get there early and park across the tracks on the first row where you get the most traffic, get to see the most. Otherwise, you're buried in the back. With there, every place there is good parking. Don't get me wrong, but prime locations, that first row, you get to see everybody and see everything, and you're closest to the outhouses too. Well, I'm kind of bummed I'm not. We were planning on going this year actually, and then this Canada stuff came up. I got to go to Quebec and Montreal, and then come back across the top, and we're just not going to make it this round. But we were actually trying to make that one. It's been a long time. That's kind of our hometown show, but being leased to Ram and all.
I would think that would be a hometown show for you. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm bummed we're not going to see you down in Bakersfield, but I know what you're doing. You're going to be doing.
Well, we need to pull Dan aside and get him to change the dates just to accommodate one person, because that's logic in its own right there.
Absolutely. Yeah. We need to accommodate Jake Bast.
Yeah. Of all things to do.
Jake Bast.
Poor Dan. Poor
true.
Dan.
And I got to bring this up too. We were talking about it. I wear my Jake Bast trucker T-shirt on my travel days. Whenever I travel, I wear that shirt. There was, I think it was last year when we showed up in Bakersfield for either Trucking for Kids or rodeo. Can't remember which it was, but Dan was wearing it too on travel.
Oh boy, you guys were running out a lot. It's time to do laundry. You guys are at the bottom of the drawer.
I'm telling you, man. No, but here's the cool thing. I have been places. Can we change the date for Christmas? Just wondering. Yeah, I don't know about that one either, but I was going through an airport or somewhere, and I saw somebody else wearing your shirt. Not that was the only time, but I saw, and I'm like, oh, nice, wearing a Jake Bass shirt. And he's like, who? What? I'm like, do you even know who that is? He's like, nah, somebody gave it to me. Oh, shoot, man.
It was at the Goodwill. Yeah.
I'm thinking, dude, you got to know what you're doing here. You know who you're representing, man. Come on now, and I just laughed my ass off on that one. But I wear that shirt everywhere, and it's one of the most comfortable T-shirts I have. What can I tell you, man? High quality T-shirt there, buddy. So good job.
Hey, not bad for they were smuggled out of Mexico. That was kind of a whole funny story in itself. Yeah, I had to get a coyote to smuggle them across the border. It was kind of interesting story in that, but
whatever.
So I'm glad they worked. I've been asked here lately. I guess probably some got worn out or what have you. I've been asked for. I might have to do another run here before long.
You probably do. But, I mean, got to have your brand out there. Hats and shirts, man, especially hats. A good hat.
Yeah, I go through a lot of hats.
Yeah,
I go through a lot of hats. I got a great ad gal. Jalen, she does most truck guys' hats, I think nowadays, and she just does as a C-bar C. There, she's amazing, quick, on the spot, handles it all. I guess I am kind of doing a name drop for her because she's just so amazing for her business. But she does most of the truck guys, I think. Yeah.
Well, on that note, if you got any other last minute shout outs you want to do, let them go, and then we're going to shut this thing down, man. Who do you got? You want to acknowledge out there?
Oh, I don't know. It takes a village. At the end of the day, really, I'm just really grateful for my job and Ram, and it gets me out here and lets me to go coast to coast every week and do my thing, kind of on my schedule, and not necessarily my schedule, but allows me to have the time to go home and work on my truck and do things like this and not worry about stopping on the side of the road for an hour and talking trucks and doing these things and pretty much everybody in the conversation we had, I tried to get in there, but absolutely, and then my wife just rolling her eyes and letting me keep doing this stupidity every day. But it keeps her from having a job. So she likes telling everybody she's a kept woman. And as long as my truck's happy, then I'm happy, then she doesn't have to get a job. So whatever it takes. I do get that a lot. You must not be married. And because my wife doesn't do social media hardly at all. And I go, why is that? And they're like, well, my wife would never let me do this, or I got to ask my wife for that. And I'm like, nah, my wife doesn't want to have a job. So she knows if I'm happy and the truck's happy, she's happy.
Well,
so I'm pretty grateful for that.
I think it's worked out not only for you and her, but you and Ram seem to just it's a good fit, right?
Yeah, no, it is. Derek, I've been here 11 years and going on 12, and the opportunities here. It's kind of one of those places they give you the tools and you build out of it what you want, and they kind of accommodate whatever level you want to do, and they brought, I had a lot of different jobs. I've been leased a lot of places, a lot of different opportunities before I came here, and it's kind of funny how a lot of that has all those experiences and tools have helped me here, and I just can't say enough good about them and how grateful I am for the opportunities that I've had through them. Just this as simple as not caring about pulling over for an hour and talking to you, worry about them know where I'm at or a schedule and the Christmas tree and the simplicity of just the life itself you have here.
Yeah. Well, it's good when you can find a home because that's everything on the road, man. If you're not doing your own thing where you're finding your own loads and, doing all of that part of it, the partnership in this thing, I mean, if you've got a good company and they're giving you good stuff, feeding you good stuff, I mean, they're taking a lot off your plate you don't have to deal with, right?
They do, and they are, and I've done that. I've had to do my own stuff and my own info reports and all these things and chase money and do all that. And a lot of people want to see their name on the door, and I'm no different. I'd love to see my name on the door for sure, but at what cost at my age and just one truck and the lifestyle that Ram has afforded me and the opportunity and just the support. If I can be in, literally as far away from the yard as I can be next week in another country. And if I have anything, I just got to pick up the phone and they're there. And
yeah,
not that you try not to need them. That's why they let you go out that far. But it's kind of just a trust relationship between you and them. And they know what you're capable of and you know what they're capable of. And you just go do your job. They don't ask for nothing, but they don't, all they expect in return is just do your job.
Yeah. Do your job, take care of your business, make us all look good. And
that's a big thing right there, though, working for here is there's a lot of cool dudes with some cool iron, and you'll see them at Brooks. We have just a lot of guys with nice equipment, combos, company guys on our operators. And Dale Latimer, he just loves seeing that, and he loves having that brand. And he said, you can't buy that kind of advertisement. He's very supportive of us taking time off to do these things and keeping our equipment the way it is. And when you work with a bunch of guys like that and for somebody supportive, it's a great place and a good environment.
Isn't there, and I thought I had a picture. I just kind of went over to a folder to find it. And this is one of the trucks that I always enjoy seeing up there at that show.
Oh yeah, that was, gosh darn it. That was it Fred? I'm trying to think of, he passed away, I think, the guy that had that truck. It's been a long time. Yeah. So Fred's truck, right?
Yeah, Merrill on the on the truck. Yeah. But I know there's another one. There's another really cool cab over that's a Ram cab over
there's only one Ram cab over that's cool. And the coolest thing about it is the driver.
Okay.
If you got a picture of it, you're going to put up. He definitely deserves that.
And I'm not seeing it.
The red and black one hooked up to the big trailer that was there a couple years ago, I think. Is that the one you're talking about?
Might be, but here's the problem. I took a break from doing the 10-4 stuff when I came back up to Oregon, and just for a couple of years, so I don't have those 2 years. And then
Mark Del Porto. The only cab over Ram is Mark Del Porto's, and that is probably the coolest cab over on the West Coast for sure, since Kevin is in Texas now and doesn't count with West Coast anymore. But the coolest thing about that is Mark Del Porto. He's one of the truckinest dudes I know. Like when they send us on some crazy deal and they're like, hey, there's 2 loads, like, who do you want to take with you? It's like always Del Porto, because his truck and my truck get the same crappy fuel mileage. And so we need fuel at the same time all the time anyway. And that Del Porto will sit in that seat like a stud and get it done like no other. Like he's one of my Ram trucking heroes. Like I take him with me to motivate me to stay in the seat sometimes.
Well, Josh brought it up.
I love trucking with him.
Yeah, it is Mark. All right, listen, brother, good to talk to you and get caught up, man. It's
been a long time. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we blew through 70 minutes like nothing. So
I told you sometimes I'm afraid of silence. So sorry about that.
Pleasure having you on, and always good to. Tilton Hilton. Yeah, you gotta have that one in there too, man. But good to have you. Wish you were going to be around this weekend and we could connect, but we'll make something happen somewhere along the way.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. Thanks, John.
All right, buddy. Take care.
You too. Toodaloo.
Jake Bast out there, everybody. Thanks again for Jake coming in. You guys are awesome for hanging in there with us. Appreciate it. We ran a little bit long today, but it doesn't even feel like it. Great job on Jake's part making it happen too, and everything came together just great. So listen again one more time, and I'm going to bring it up here real quick for everybody, and make sure you guys, if you get the chance, if you're going to be up north, if you're in the Pacific Northwest, 33rd annual Brooks Truck Show, and that's again up there at the Truck Museum there, and probably, if I make it up there, which I'm thinking I am, I'm 98.9% sure I'm going to be there. How's that? Salem, looks like Salem, Oregon's a place to be on Friday night after the show, and then I'll come home on Saturday. But anybody got any insight on any of that? Let me know. Shoot me a text or an email or whatever. Message me right here on Facebook, whatever it takes, man. So appreciate everybody that tuned in, man. There was a bunch of you guys today, so thank you all for tuning in. Great to have you on the show. Join us weekly Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time and 5 p.m. Pacific time. Two different shows, two completely different environments. The morning show, the morning drive, a lot of fun. Brandon Carpenter, myself, and Matt, our Google guy. He's our memory guy. We got him on there to keep us all honest and hopefully on track of what we're doing, so we don't get off track. But thanks to everybody for tuning in. Keep your shiny side up. Stay safe out there on the road. New magazine going to be coming out soon. Dan the Man working on that right now, and we'll be having more Dan on the Wednesday afternoon edition of the weekly update here pretty soon too. So start looking for that, and we will talk to you guys and see ya soon. Take care, everyone.